welcome back to my channel. This has been a highly requested video on my channel for quite some time, and to be honest, the only reason why I didn't do it is because I really don't feel like I am super well versed in cameras and lenses. I've been doing this YouTube thing for a while, and I had one camera for a super long time, and I finally upgraded. I played around with different lenses, different camera bodies, and I just feel like I am ready to share like my current setup. I have my original vlogging camera that I got, my very first camera ever, and just kind of walk you through a little bit of what I feel is essential for vlogging, whether you want to get into vlogging or you want to get a new camera or you're just a nosy bitch. So let's get on into the video. So first of all, what you are seeing right now, what you are viewing through the lens, is my current Sony A7 III with a Sigma 16mm 1.4 lens. Now, I am partial to Sony. I just started with Sony and never tested any other cameras. I don't know why. I just really like Sony. I like their interface, and I really love their Sony art lenses, and I love Sigma lenses. The setup here that you're looking at is also supported by a ring light in the back. I have an external monitor and a Rode video mic attached to the side. Now, I do not have all of these things on my camera other than the microphone when I am handheld vlogging, and all of the items that I am listing in this video I will put in the description box with direct links so you can look them up for yourself. But this is not what I use 24/7. For the most part, I am just using my portable tripod with the microphone and my Sony and 16mm lens. The only way that that's changing when I'm out recording something, like not at home or not, you know, somewhere where I feel comfortable holding it and I'm setting up my camera, is this bad boy. Now this you saw in the Wadapalooza footage. So most everything that Leah was filming where you could see her zooming in and out, that was this beast. This is the Sony 24-70 Gmaster 2.8. And this is something that I really don't like holding myself. Number one, because I just feel like you have to hold it so far out in front of you. Number two, it is so heavy. But I do love this lens for shooting far away. I love the zooming capability. Sony Gmaster lenses are just chef's kiss. They're amazing, but they are a bit of an investment, and if you are someone who is just starting out vlogging, I definitely do not think that this is necessary. This would be more so like if you are looking to shoot things from farther away. This is also a great photo lens, especially for like portraits and things that you're shooting, like, I don't know, landscape or things like that. I'm just speaking on video because, you know, I'm not really a photographer. Video is my thing. So for me, this is for things that are farther away, someone's shooting for me, or I need to set up farther away from myself and set it up to the settings of my liking. With that being said, I did recently get a Sigma 24 1.4. This is not as beastly as that one, but it's still a little bit more heavy than my 16mm, and this is great for one, vlogging, yes, but kitchen videos, sit down videos. It's just a little bit more zoomed in than the 16mm, so I do feel like I have to hold it out quite a bit of ways. 16 to 18 for me personally in focal length. I think that's the proper way to say it. If I'm saying that incorrectly, just let me know. 16 to 18mm is definitely my personal preference for vlogging. I prefer a wide angle. I don't like when someone's face is like taking up the entire screen, but that's totally personal preference and what you feel you would get the most use out of. Obviously, with me, you're seeing that most of my lenses are fixed lenses. Again, just personal preference. I don't typically use a zoom function for what I do with my videos. So like sit down videos, obviously I don't need a zoom. I would prefer the 1.4, that bokeh effect, and just having a clearer set lens for certain things. People like to use zoom lenses because they're going to shoot vlogs at 16mm and then they're going to zoom in for farther away things that they're capturing. But typically those types of lenses are much larger and heavier, and just for me with vlogging, that's not ideal. So before I upgraded to the Sony A7 III, I primarily shot all of my videos on the Sony A6600. And the reason is just because of this flip out screen. It is the upgraded version of my OG Sony A5100, which I just keep this because it reminds me of my very first YouTube video days. If you are somebody who is looking to get into vlogging and you really don't want to spend a ton on a really high quality camera, but you still want the ability to see yourself, this is so lightweight. It does a lot of the same things as the higher up Sonys. I love the 5100. I feel like you can't go wrong. Hopefully they still make these. I don't know if they do, but I loved this camera, and it is really what started my YouTube career. I keep it as like a little trophy, a little reminder of where I started. I prefer for the flip out screen cameras. I know that Nikon and Canon make ones that I think most of them flip out to the side. I just don't like that. I don't know why. I like the flip out screen to be on the top. And I think that this is the last Sony that they made in terms of like E-mount and vlogging style cameras that has the flip out screen to the top. Now, I love this camera. I personally do not know a ton about like the specificity of what these cameras do differently, like from the 6600 to the 5100. So if you want to like know all the ins and outs, definitely go look at like the Sony website and compare cameras if you really want to know. But if you're just a beginner and you're looking for something that is easy, lightweight, portable, and you can put different lenses on them, I just really like both the 5100 and the 6600. Obviously, this is a more beefed up version and can have more capabilities than the 5100, but still love them all. I still used the Sigma 16mm 1.4 lens on the 6600 when I was doing most of my vlogging. So I will show you some of my other lenses and what I use them for. All of my lenses, with the exception of Sigma, are Sony E-mount lenses, meaning they can be put on any of these different Sony cameras. This is a 50mm 1.8. I honestly really never use this lens, but I would if I wanted a super, super creamy, blurry background and I was gonna be slightly farther away. I think most photographers use between a 35 and 50mm for like portraits, but I still really have never like taken like Instagram pictures or anything with my 50. I don't know why. I just don't love it as much, but I still feel like it's a staple lens to have in your collection. Next up, we have a Sigma 30mm 1.4, and this is definitely a really good lens if someone is vlogging for you, so you're still gonna get that really creamy background. It's too cropped in my opinion for vlogging when you're doing it yourself, but this is a great lens for Instagram pictures. A lot of my Instagram pictures that like I have had with Sam or like taken of other people, I've used a 30 1.4, and this is just kind of another like staple lens. But I will say that the Sigma 24mm 1.4, the super beautiful, this guy, I think this is similar to the Sony Art lens. It's like the more affordable version of the Sony Art. This is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful for Instagram pictures, for the end of my Wadapalooza vlog. I will put a little clip here, so if you didn't watch that, you can see, was shot with this. And there were a couple times throughout that video that I interchanged the lenses to use this one because I didn't have enough light to use the 24-70, and this one is just beautiful. I just love it. I really love Sigma lenses. I don't want to say that they're underrated because maybe they're not, but I feel like not enough vloggers talk about using Sigma lenses, and I just really love them. And I have a regular, I think this might even be the kit lens that came with my Sony. This is just a Sony 29mm. That's weird. I didn't even know they made 29mm. Again, if you want to just stick with the basics, you can totally use the kit lens for vlogging, but just keep in mind you're not gonna have a ton of capability in terms of like beautiful blurry backgrounds and super zoomed capabilities. I do have one other Gmaster lens from Sony, but I'll tell you, I don't use it as often as I thought I would. And it's just because I love a blurred background. And this is the Sony Gmaster 18-105 f4 lens. And this is just not gonna give you as super creamy of a background as I personally like. And the only way that I would use this lens, I think, is again, if I was doing something like a Wadapalooza where someone was filming for me and they needed to zoom in and out quickly of me being really far away. I don't have a real use for this just based on the videos that I personally create, but this is the most zoom lens that I have, so if I needed it for something, at least I have it. Also link like my tripod, and unfortunately these straps, I got them at a local camera store, but you can get these kind of straps on Amazon. I only recently started putting them on my cameras because I freaking dropped my A7 III the second day I had it and cracked the viewfinder lens. So that is very Mander's, on brand for me, and I was like, you know what, no, we're gonna get straps so I don't keep dropping my cameras. I also have a tripod from Amazon. I honestly don't spend a ton of money on like accessories like tripods, ring lights, things of that nature, because a lot of my vlogging style is very real life in person, and I don't do a lot of things that are set up. So I don't need very fancy lights, I don't need super heavy duty tripods. I have one small one that I use for vlogging, and then my big 60-inch one that I use if I'm like out taking pictures somewhere or doing a sit-down video. So those are the only two tripods I have. But I think that another underrated thing that I really need to use more of, and I'm glad I was able to use it in Miami, is this damn drone. And this is the DJI, yes, Mavic Pro, and this is the smaller version of the DJIs that they have. I cannot even believe that this thing is still in my hands, honestly, because the amount of times that I thought that I lost this drone in the air, I can't even tell you. I love watching drone footage. When I was filming for Wadapalooza and I was flying the drone, I was like, oh, I miss flying this in Florida. Because to be honest with you, here in Iowa, like, number one, it's snowy and miserable right now, so like there's nothing to give you drone footage of anyway. But there's just not like a ton of beautiful landscape until the summertime, so I just feel like I don't use it that much, but when I travel I do. So I love my drone. I'm so glad I got it. I think it just adds a lovely little like elevated element to your vlogs. And then lastly, for cases, I only have these two Sony cases that, to be honest, I do not use unless I am putting them in my suitcase to transport them somewhere else. I just carry my cameras on a strap, and it's probably not the safest thing to do, but you know, we live violently. So last thing I want to show you is just this cleaning kit that I got on Amazon, and this is, I think, from the brand Altura, and this essentially has every single thing that you will need to clean your sensors, your lenses, everything. And I wish I would have had like this from the very beginning, because I fudged up my lenses in the beginning by like wiping them, my grimy fingers touching the sensors. Like, listen, I was a newbie. I had no idea what I'm doing. I still really don't know what I'm doing, but at least now I have better quality gear. So that's all my vlogging gear. I hope you enjoyed. I'll link everything below. Let me know if you have any questions about vlogging or anything. Oh, and before I finish this video, I use Final Cut Pro to edit my videos, and I have an iMac and a MacBook Pro. I personally tend to use the MacBook Pro a little bit more. I don't know why. I just feel like I'm on my couch more, but I do love my iMac, and I use it for everything else. So that's all my gear. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. You know the deal. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, click that subscribe button, and I'll see you in my next video.